are back. My name is Vince Ainger. I'm your host this morning, and Pamela Sutton is in the studio with us. No stranger to Channel 6. You come about, welcome, first of all, Pamela. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
And you show up about once a month, I think?
Yes, I do.
With all kinds of news and Resident Life. Pamela is the director of Resident Life, and I'll let you get started.
Wonderful. Well, we have so many wonderful events that are coming up for the residents for the remainder of the month of April as well as for May. So I just wanted to give everyone a few highlights in terms of some things that they can look forward to.
Okay, April's running out on us. So,
April is running
so we're
out.
Have a busy week?
Yes, we have a busy week. Actually, starting as soon as later this morning, we have a wonderful session that Rabbi Aft is actually going to be conducting. It's a two-part session. It's entitled, "The Lord is My Shepherd." And so the first of the two sessions will be occurring right here in the Village Square Theater, and that's going to be occurring from 11 a.m. until noon. The second session will be held May 3rd, and that will be in the Hunters Crossing classroom, and that's going to be from 11 a.m. until 12:30. So I'm hoping I have an opportunity to at least be able to stop in and hear the wonderful presentation. He is a wonderful speaker.
Sure, 11 to noon today in the theater.
Yes.
The first session, okay.
The first session.
May 3 is the second, okay, good.
Yes.
Good.
The next wonderful event that I know everyone is really looking forward to is going to be our annual art show. And we have a couple of new twists, so I don't want to spoil that for anyone. So hopefully everyone will be able to attend. That's going to be Wednesday, May 4th, and it's going to be in the Hunters Crossing Conference Center. And that's going to be from 10 a.m. until 3. So please, I hope that everyone is able to attend. I know I'm looking forward to it, and as a matter of fact, the team is already in the process of getting the decorations and everything together.
Sure. Good, okay.
We also have coming up on May 5th, so the very next day, is our National Day of Prayer. So I hope that residents will be able to join the Pastoral Ministries team in our Green Spring Chapel, and that's going to be at 11:30 p.m. on May 5th.
11:30 p.m.
I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry. You can tell where my mind's at right now. At 1:30 p.m.
That's right. I had a pastor like that once. The bishop said, no masses after 11 in the morning. He says, Father, don't remember his name. He said, I'll be here next year, last mass next year, next week, 11 a.m. I'll be an hour late, he says. All right. So it's 11.
So it's actually 1:30 p.m. in the chapel.
Okay, good.
For our National Day of Prayer. And this is actually something that people can look forward to. We don't have all of the information that's up on the bulletin boards yet, but I know what a wonderful event our annual health fair is.
Yes,
so
sure.
I hope that everyone will mark their calendars. That will be occurring May 19th.
Okay.
From 12 noon to 3 p.m. in the Hunters Crossing Conference Center. So look forward to seeing that information on our bulletin boards and our flyers, and of course in the Village Bridge.
Sure. Good. All right.
Wonderful. A few other announcements that I wanted to make. I'm sure that residents have noticed that unfortunately Evelyn, who was our community resources coordinator for Village Square, is no longer with us.
Yeah, miss her already.
Yes, very nice young lady. Sure. She decided to take a position that was a lot closer to home for her. So we're actually very happy for her, and we wish her much success. We are in the act right now of currently interviewing people to fill that need. And in the meantime, we do have Anita Garifo, who's now moved back to Village Square, that will be supporting Village Square, as well as she will still maintain being a support for the entertainment portion of our community. She and Kelly are going to be sharing hours over in Hunters Crossing until we find a replacement. I just wanted everyone to know that we are actively seeking, and I actually have 4 interviews scheduled this week.
Oh, good.
So we're really being very aggressive in our search to make sure that we're meeting all of the residents' needs.
I noticed Kelly has her schedule posted on her door.
Yes,
Which
and
hours?
Anita does.
Yeah, sure. So they're not quite double duty, but 1.5 time duty, something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, just as a reminder, if everyone could just keep in mind, of course, if there's an event that's occurring,
Yes.
then those hours are subject to
Sure,
change
sure.
because both will need to be present for the event. So an example of that would be the art show. So, of course, they're not going to be able to maintain the hours that are on their door because they will be at the event.
Sure,
So,
sure.
if everyone could just be a little patient with us, and
Yes.
of course, if you have a much more immediate need, don't hesitate to give myself a call or to give my administrative assistant, Beth, a call, and we'll be happy to help you.
And you have a telephone number of that.
Yes, I do. So I can be reached at, if you're calling internally, that's 604-4633. Or if someone needs to call externally, that's 703-923-4633. So even if I'm not in my office, I make sure that I check my messages as soon as I come back to the office. So we'll be able to help you with whatever you need.
Okay, good. The numbers to remember are 4633. We can figure out the rest of it. can't we?
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. We have 5 minutes, Pamela, and
Any other information? So the only
Sure.
other update that I have is that I believe most of the residents by now are aware of the fact that Nancy J., who was our administrator over hospice, home support, and certified home health, has also left us. So we're wishing her much success as well. So I am the interim administrator. We are going to be looking at doing some restructuring from an oversight. So everyone can look forward to hearing what those changes will be. And to stay tuned, because in approximately another week, we will have our first Resident Life newsletter, which will be offered to all residents. We'll keep the plenty of stacks of them at each community center, and it'll just let everyone know what's going on with all of the lines that fall under Resident Life.
Yeah, now, tell us something about that, particularly, I think, for our new residents, maybe. You have a staff of, what, 20 to 25, maybe?
Oh, goodness. I wish it were that small.
Oh, really? More than?
There are 8 lines of business that fall under Resident
see.
Life.
Sure.
So by the time you factor in the number of aides that we have, as well as companions, it's actually approximately 218 employees
Really?
that are under Resident Life.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
So quite a bit to oversee.
Oh, golly. Yeah. I can remember my daughter once complaining she had to write 100 performance reviews. And I said, that's absurd. You shouldn't have to write more than 3. You've got 218 people you have to...
Well, the beauty of that is that's why I have so much faith and confidence in all of my managers. They're a wonderful team, because I don't have to write all of those reviews. So, and they're all doing such a wonderful job at making sure that they're maintaining their departments.
Yeah. So tell us about some of the lines anyway.
Certainly. So as we've talked about, that's community resources. The fitness center also now falls under Resident Life.
I see.
You have the wonderful Channel 6.
I work for you.
You work from, absolutely. We'll talk about doing your review a little bit later on.
All right. Sometimes we have union meetings, you see, the camera guys. And when Diane comes in, we tell them, sorry, Diane, we're having a union meeting. Okay.
Social work, not only in independent living, but also the social workers that are over in Garden Ridge. There's hospice, home support, certified home health, and pastoral ministries.
Yeah, sure.
So
Pastoral
quite a bit.
ministries. Yeah, sure. We're down to about 3 minutes here.
Okay.
And I don't know what to ask you now. So you have to talk some more.
Talk some more.
Or
okay.
else I do card tricks, you see.
Well, I know you had asked about the newsletter. So the wonderful thing about this is that we have each department that will be featured in our newsletter.
Sure.
And it's everything from information about the type of services that departments provide to events that are going to be coming up soon, to updates, whether there's changes in staffing, things of that nature. There will also be a personal statement from me as well. But we're looking at doing that every other month. So depending on the response, then we'll see if we can actually do something even more frequent. But it's just a wonderful opportunity for Resident Life to make sure that all residents, including newcomers, know all the services that Resident Life provides for our residents, and then just really functioning on a level of transparency so that what I know, you know.
Okay.
So that's our purpose for that.
All right. We know your telephone number. Your office, you're located in Village Square.
Yes.
Let's see, around the corner, down here around the corner. That's very helpful, isn't it? Everybody knows where you are now.
Yes.
Yeah, well, we're down to about a minute here.
Okay.
I thank you for coming. It's always good to see you, and we'll see you next month, I suppose.
Absolutely. I will look forward at that time and bringing you some additional wonderful news, and hopefully by then some feedback on how the newsletter was received. So if anyone wants to comment on things that they would like to see in our next edition, then certainly by my next visit on VIM, hopefully I will have some of that information to share with you.
Yeah, and someone will be sitting in Evelyn's chair, I bet.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes, that is
Evelyn,
certainly our plan, that certainly within the next 30 days, I'm really hoping within the next 2 weeks, we'll be able to fill that position.
Okay, good. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Look forward to seeing you next month, and we will be back. Stay with us, Green Spring.